What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome in if you're new. In this video, we're going to be discussing HEX and the fact that it is now in price discovery. So be subscribed, leave a thumbs up, all of that if you enjoy this kind of quantitative and hybrid technical analysis. Let's start off with our move that we talked about a while back. We've been talking about this move on the channel. If you've been watching, then you know what I'm about to bring up. And it's this move. I said, what if this is just one big ol' ascending triangle, right? With a clear resistance at the 6.4 penny level or so. And if that were the case, then all you have to do to test your technical target is place that same move at the point of support, right? Breakout and then support. So once we found support on these previous levels of resistance of this ascending triangle and held them as support, did we reach our 13 penny target? Yes, we did. All right, so our first target is hit with a high of 14.4 cents on the day approximately. So the price of HEX reached 14 cents. Some people sold and whatever, but our first target was hit. Now, remember us talking about the fact that on two separate macro bullish formations in HEX's history, that it doubled its technical target, right? Both of those times. And so if we subscribe to the idea that that might happen, then doubling our technical target puts us around the 25-cent region roughly. So our first target, our conservative technical target, was hit. Now the question becomes, are we going to hit our bullish technical target based on historical precedent? Okay, so other than that, I mean, first target was hit, so awesome stuff. More credibility for the channel. Bragging rights are nice. Now, if we continue looking at this, our parallel channel uptrend, then we know that things look good, because we talked about convergence of support usually being a great sign, right? We talked about it back here with exponential support and horizontal support, and then we haven't seen those prices since, right? And over here, July 12th, approximately July 13th, we saw all of the support, right? We were covering this every single day, saying, you know, now we wait, just be patient. We're seeming to hold support on our moving averages. Not only that, we saw the cross of the purple moving average above the blue, which when we see that in the past, it's generally bullish. We saw support on the bottom of our channel, which we've held as support and resistance for the past 7-8 months. So all of these things were saying up, and we were just super bullish on the channel. And look at this. Not only that, not only did we hold support, but we came up to the top of this channel damn near perfectly. I haven't moved these lines, by the way. So did we actually touch it? No. It's at 14.6 cents, and this chart reached 14.4 cents. So we were shy by a fifth of a penny. But hey, no one's perfect. So, I mean, this isn't to say we can't go above it. Obviously, we've seen not only holding it resistance with wicks, and not even so quickly, but we've seen whole bodies of candles above it, right? We've definitely seen that. We've seen bubbles above it. So, yeah, and we've talked about this, saying this bubble back here was approximately, let's take a quick move and take a look at what happened over here. Right, approximately 2.2x extended above the top of the channel. So if currently the channel is at around 15 cents, 2.2x above that is 33 cents. If we saw a bubble above it, say tomorrow or so. If it took some time, then maybe a little higher. But currently a little bubble above this upper bound of the channel, similar to this one, would correspond to something like a 33-cent hex. But yeah, we've seen that we can go above it. We can definitely go above it. Right, and currently it's sitting at 15 cents. By the end of July, early August, it's sitting at around 19 cents. So we'll see what plays out, right? This was just one wick. Who's to say we can't continue on? You've seen how HEX can just keep going. Like, look at this pattern over here. Not saying this is going to happen, obviously, but I mean, just look at how absolutely insane this is. It just kept going. it likes to have these tears where it just stops for no one. And then obviously we see consolidation, but sometimes it does this. So if we saw something similar, I mean, let's see what bubble above this is. So this is 17 cents or so on the top of the channel, and then it bubbles up to 38 cents. So that is about 2.2x, right? It would be a bubble similar to this one over here. That's pretty interesting, right? And that would correspond to 37 cents, end of July. So again, the longer things take generally is a good sign. I think the fact that we kind of consolidated for this period of time was good. I think it was healthy for the market to do something like this. Just the same as back here. These periods of consolidation are healthy. It's people taking profits, man. It's people having used HEX for what it's made for, price appreciation, and just taking their money because they can do whatever they want with it. I mean, that's not to say they won't regret it later and maybe even buy back in higher, get less coins and whatnot. But I mean, people can do whatever they want, right? But more or less, again, we pointed out these regions of accumulation, short-lived, some longer-lived. Wicks beneath it could have capitalized on, and yeah, it's generally just bullish from here, right? We've seen uptrends of anywhere from just a nice little 2x to as far above as, what is that, like a 5x on this move. And obviously if you scroll back in the history of HEX, we've seen even bigger moves, which actually leads me to this next point, right? Which is, sure, these technical targets are fine and dandy, and they're saying, you know what, we could reach 12 to 25 cents, right? 13 to 25 cents, first target hit. They're saying a bubble above this channel would be more in the 30 to 40 cent region. All right, getting a little more bullish. Now, if you really zoom out and look at the quantitative side of things, then you run into, in my opinion, a more bullish picture. Okay, so all of these charts that I'm about to pull up can be found on LookIntoHex.com. First link in the description. Your free go-to site for quantitative HEX charts, and we'll start with this one just because it's first in line, and that is our fair value. Okay, you can read up on here how it's calculated. I've talked about it on this channel so many times. Don't really feel like doing it again, so go read that if you really want to know how it works from a mathematical level. And at this point in time, our fair value is approximately 13.6 cents. So we're approaching it. And then the mean is closer to something like 17 cents. So I think, based on history of these charts, that these curves have significance in the sense that they're sort of like support resistance pivot regions. If you've noticed, price doesn't like to hang out at these levels, but when it hits them and finds resistance, it's generally strong resistance. If it blasts above them, generally it's bubble time. So take something like this region over here where we strictly got rejected, and then this region over here where support was found on the pink level, and so on, right? Once we crossed above the green, it was just bubble time. Over here, again, it hung out for a little bit, but more or less, once it broke beneath it, it was a waterfall on this chart. And this is the extension from mean. You can normalize it to the pink curve instead, and you get simply a sort of like the inverse or the converse of the chart. I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but it pretty much says that even with this pump, we still have potentially room to grow on these models and still be undervalued, so to speak, according to these models. This I found really interesting, the fact that we're on track with the best quarter of HEX, which was Q2 of 2020. It was that whole like April to July region for HEX in 2020, when we had that nice bubble. If you remember, it was a bubble from this region, I believe. Yeah, April 1st over here. And if you look at, April, May, June, then pretty much it was this, right? It was this this region over here. So this, right, this region over here is basically this orange curve, and that was the best quarter to date when measured from the beginning of the quarter to the end of the quarter. So in this framework, we are on track to be the highest performing quarter, right? we're close, because Q2 2020 at this point in time, 2 weeks into the quarter, price was up 75%, whereas currently HEX price is up about 57% this time around. So if it continues this way and continues to emulate Q2 of 2020, we're still a 10x away from the top, and that could happen as soon as 30 days from today. So what I'm saying is, potentially you could be seeing a dollar HEX or more by August. That's what this is saying if Q3 of 2021 emulates Q2 of 2020, right? If this pink curve that you're seeing forming now emulates this orange curve. And then we would see that bubble region. And that would correspond to something like this. Now I'm saving the best for last here, because this is really the OG chart that started a lot, right? It was honestly a breakthrough. It was something I didn't have at the beginning of the channel when I started this YouTube channel. I started with some sub-cycle videos and HEX versus ETH, HEX versus BTC. That one did really well. But when I did this, it was just something that hadn't been done before. And then I just kind of made it my sort of signature chart. But absolutely love this chart. It's our equidistant regression rainbow. We also have the Fibonacci space model. But remember, a strong thesis we've had for, I don't know, is it months already? Anyways, it's saying, look at the similarities of where we are on this rainbow. And simply look at this fractal, right? Look at this fractal. If this region here, this sort of bullish looking formation where you have impulsive move up, consolidation in the sort of uptrend channel, similar to over here, consolidation or impulsive move up, consolidation along an uptrend channel. Not only that, it's right, if you look at it here, normalized to the red curve, then you see that we just crossed above the yellow. We just crossed above the yellow, and what we did over here back in April of 2020, remember there was still approximately an 8x to go on this chart, which is farther up on the USD chart. So something more like a 10x. And if you notice, I actually just included let me reload this to make sure the legend reads correctly. There you go. I just included the Ether extension from its regression rainbow during its launch phase to a bubble period. So now you can see it here. It's underlaid in this sort of pink dotted line. Let me know if you want a different color. It looks pretty good in purple too. But yeah, pink or purple look good. Anything else just kind of looks funky. But yeah, and it just goes to show that we could potentially still have a lot of room to move up. It could be time for a bubble up into these higher regions. And we know that pink in October, we can just double check. Pink in October corresponds to a couple dollars. Okay, so to think we could see a dollar HEX in August, maybe a couple dollars in October, isn't out of the cards, right? And then it continues on, and it might take longer, right? It might take literally until May of next year, which is what this is saying, right? Maybe we see sort of more methodical move up that doesn't reach pink until this time, and that'd be fine too, right? I mean, this is a quickly appreciating asset. If you look at the Fibonacci space model, then you get a similar story, and we just crossed yellow here as well. So things are looking good. If this fractal plays out, then there's still, again, there could be a 10x move incoming. This could literally just be the beginning, right? This could just be the beginning. So with that said, leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of quantitative and technical hybrid analysis on the HEX charts, PulseChain, and more. Very exciting times. I'm not gonna lie, I had some trouble sleeping. Last night. A lot going on. But yeah, keep a level head. Stick to your plan, right? Hopefully you have a plan by now. If not, don't get too overwhelmed by all the content being thrown out there. Just make sure you just stick to what you see on the official Twitter, on the official Telegram, right? Richard's official YouTube, the PulseChain group, all of that. And just, if you need to drown out the noise, just look at the official statements, formulate a plan of your own on your own time, by yourself, act upon that, know your own risk profile, make smart decisions, and yeah, man, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Potentially sacrifice is live by the time I launch another video. So again, good luck to everyone. I hope you have a plan in place, And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.